It's time to sit back, relax, and listen to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life will inspire, motivate, and empower you. Live your best life now. Listen, learn, think, and decide. Change your attitude, change your life. And now, here's your host, Joan Herman.
Welcome to Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. You're listening to us in your neighborhood from coast to coast and around the world. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Joan Herman, author, speaker, and your host. Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life brings you interviews with some of the most inspirational and influential people in the world. It's our goal to educate and empower you so you can live your best life now. Thank you for taking time for yourself, and thank you for letting us be a part of your life. We have another great show for you today. Joining me is fitness expert Joan Pagano. Joan is the former personal trainer to Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis and Caroline Kennedy. She's an author and a speaker, and an authority on the benefits of exercise for women's health issues such as menopause, osteoporosis, and breast cancer. Joan's been featured on network television and has contributed to publications including Shape, Health, Fitness, The Wall Street Journal, and the Chicago Tribune. Welcome, Joan. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, Joan.
Joan, we know that keeping the body moving with some type of exercise program is important for people of all ages. But what are the specific benefits to those in middle age?
There are so many that it's hard to know where to begin, but let me give you the big picture first. The people who are fit in middle age spend less time being debilitated in older age. In other words, we are living to be older and older in our society. The average life expectancy, I believe, is about 78 for a woman right now. And the choice you have in midlife is how you want to spend those later years, because you can spend them in poor health, feeling debilitated and having problems, or if you begin your fitness program in midlife, you are more likely, research shows that you are more likely to spend more time having an active, vibrant, independent life as you're getting older.
Now, Joan, I just turned 50, and a lot of people I know have this mentality that, I can't do what I used to do, so they don't do anything. Is it ever too late for us to get involved and start an exercise program?
No, it's never too late to start, and the earlier you begin, the longer you benefit. In fact, we've done studies with frail 90-year-olds and put them in the gym on the machines that 25-year-olds use and gave them a program of what we call progressive resistance training. In other words, very gradually giving them heavier and heavier weights. After a period of 8 weeks, 3 sessions a week with a supervised by a trainer, these frail elderly, all of whom had at least 2 chronic conditions like heart disease, diabetes, osteoporosis, arthritis, all of them were able to increase their strength by 175%, increase their walking ability and balance, their walking speed and balance by about 50%. And 2 of them were able to throw away their canes and walkers and walk independently. It is never too late to begin, even at that advanced age.
Joan, what are we talking about when we say strength training? What types of exercises does that encompass?
Strength training is a term that we define by saying it is the technique of applying resistance to the muscles in order to stimulate growth. And that resistance can be either your own body weight, as in a push-up or a squat, or it could be a form of external resistance, such as holding free weights or dumbbells, weighted bars, weighted balls, the stretch bands and stretch tubes. All of these tools are used in order to stimulate growth in the muscle. And depending on what technique you use, you either stimulate the muscles for better shape and tone, or you build strength.
Now, we often hear about the importance of cardio exercise and stretching, and now we're talking about strength training. Is one more important than the other, or should we be doing everything?
You should be doing everything. You just named the 3 aspects of a well-rounded fitness program, which are, as you just said, cardio, strength training, and stretching. And I think most people get 1 or 2 of those under control, but don't get all 3. But you need to do your cardio. Cardio or aerobic activity gives us longevity in life. strength training gives us quality of life because strong people are more active, more self-sufficient, more able-bodied, more functional. And then stretching is something that we need to do, especially as we're getting older and our muscles are naturally, or muscles and connective tissue are naturally tightening up with age. We get a little stiffer, we're less limber, our movements become less fluid, and we definitely need daily stretching.
How often should we be doing each of these? I know you just said daily stretching, but what about cardio and strength training?
Good question. The minimum requirement for cardio, and this is for an inactive person to reduce their risk of developing chronic disease. So we're talking about a sedentary person who has not been exercising. And the government guidelines are that you need to do a minimum of a half an hour of moderate level activity, like walking, most at least 5 days of the week. So 30 minutes at least 5 days of the week. And that could be walking, biking, stair climbing, doing an aerobic machine at the gym like the elliptical, or outside doing a jogging program, or doing cross-country skiing or winter sports. It could be any of those activities. If you don't have a half hour to devote to the activity, you can break it up into doses of 10 or 15 minutes and accumulate 30 minutes throughout the course of your day. So you need to look for those opportunities to move during the course of your day for cardio. And then for strength training, you need to do a minimum of 2 full-body routines a week. And a full-body routine comprises 8 to 10 exercises that work the major muscle groups of the body. So that would be the legs, are the largest muscle group, the back, the chest, the shoulders, the arms, and the core muscles, meaning the abdominals and the spinal muscles. So you pick 8 to 10 exercises that target those muscle groups, and you only need to do one set per exercise of 8 to 12 repetitions, meaning how many times you move the weight or lift your body weight. So once you learn the exercises, you can do that in 15 or 20 minutes. And then you need to allow a day of rest in between your workouts because the muscles repair and recover and build during the rest period, not during the workout.
Joan, is there a difference between using free weights or a machine?
Yes, there's a big difference, actually, and each has its advantages. The machines have really advanced over the past 25 years that I've been in the field. There was a time when one size doesn't fit all. In other words, a petite lady would not really fit well on a machine that was made for an average-sized man, manufactured for an average-sized man. The machines have become much more sophisticated, however, and they have a lot more adjustments so that you can better adjust for your size. If you're just beginning a program, a machine is a safe bet to use because it will hold you in proper form. However, the benefits of strength training with free weights and all these wonderful toys that I mentioned earlier, like the weighted balls and the stretch bands and the stretch tubes, is that it's more like a sport, and you need to learn to stabilize your body independently of being supported by a machine. So you really need to learn proper alignment and stabilization techniques in order to benefit the most from the exercises and also not get injured.
Joan, in your new book, Strength Training Exercises for Women, you talk about something called sarcopenia. What is it, who gets it, and how can we prevent it?
Okay, we all get it. It's a natural condition of muscles losing muscle mass and strength as we're getting older. Sarcopenia is to the muscles what osteoporosis is to the bones. And most of us now know that osteoporosis is a bone-thinning disease, and as we get older, the bones lose density and become more porous and more vulnerable to fracture. Well, a similar thing happens to muscles. We lose our strength, we lose our power, we lose our muscle mass with age very gradually. And a strength training program can help restore lost muscle and maintain muscle mass so that as we're aging, we maintain a certain energy level and, again, a functionability that we can take care of ourselves. And strength training of all lifestyle factors, including things like stress management, nutrition, sleep patterns, smoking cessation, all of that, of all of those lifestyle factors, exercise and specifically strength training is the key to restoring and maintaining muscle mass.
So, Joan, we understand the importance of why we need to get our bodies moving through strength training and an exercise program. What about someone who hasn't been very active? What is the first thing that someone needs to do? Is it important to take an assessment of your physical ability?
You can do that, but I would say if you really have not been exercising ever, or you're coming back after a long hiatus, that the best thing to do is follow the government guidelines and start walking. Accumulate 30 minutes of walking at least 5 days of the week. Then you're covered for your cardio. In terms of the strength training, my method begins with 4 body weight exercises that you can do anytime, any place without any equipment. And the 4 exercises are some variation of a push-up, a squat, a back extension for spinal strength, and abdominal compression for core strength or abdominal strength. And within each of those 4 body weight exercises, which are resistance training, you're using your body weight for resistance, there is a variation that will work for you. For instance, when we talk about push-ups, women especially are often intimidated thinking about a military push-up where you're down on the floor in a sort of a plank position on your toes. But for someone who's just beginning, you can do a wall push-up, standing parallel to a wall, your arms outstretched in front of you. You keep your body nice and plank-like. You need to pull your abs tight to maintain the alignment of your spine. Bend your elbows and lower yourself towards the wall, and then push back. That's the easiest variation of a wall push-up. And from there, you could progress to a diagonal push-up against the kitchen counter, for instance, where you're shifting more body weight onto your upper body. So you're getting more strength training stimulus. And then if you wanted to go down to the floor to do modified push-ups from the knees or full push-ups, you would have that choice. But there is a variation of all of those exercises that you can do at home without any equipment and benefit. If you never did anything more, you would be so much further ahead of the game than if you didn't do them at all.
Now, Joan, you know that someone is sitting home right now listening to us saying, an exercise program, I barely have time to sleep and eat. What do you say to that person? What would you say to your clients that come in and say, I don't have time for this?
Well, this is my philosophy is there are small moments in the day when we can do all kinds of exercise. So, for instance, I'm sitting on a stability ball in my office while I'm speaking to you. Already I have to engage my core muscles, so using something like that at work or at your desk. While I'm talking to you, I can do abdominal compressions. I am pulling my belly button back towards my spine. In other words, kind of making my pants loose, if you will. Everybody knows how to zip up a tight pair of jeans. So doing that movement in a seated position is actually a deep abdominal core strengthener, which is fantastic. You can either do repetitions, 10, 15, or 20, or you can just hold it for a period, half a minute or whatever. And that's a great strengthening stimulus for flattening your belly. And then there are so many things you can do in the kitchen while you're waiting for your coffee, you're waiting for your microwave, you're waiting for your pasta water. There are things at the kitchen sink, like I just mentioned. You could do 15 kitchen counter push-ups, or you can do leg lifts, or a 4-part plie. Actually, on my website, there are free videos of all of these little exercises that you can do around your home or apartment in the small moments of your day. And one of my colleagues told me that she stretches her hamstrings while she's using the electric toothbrush for 2 minutes, because we're supposed to be brushing our teeth for 2 minutes at a time, and there's a timer on the toothbrush. While you're brushing your teeth for 2 minutes, you could be doing stretches. You could be doing little demi squats. There are ways to do it. It's orientation. It's a mental thing. It's like finding the opportunity to move and being more active during the course of the day. Because that's another thing. If you don't mind, if I could just go off on a tangent for a second, recent studies have shown that just because you work out for an hour a day doesn't counteract the effects of sitting for the rest of the day. We've discovered that Americans sit far more than they sleep. We sit for about 9.3 hours of the day and sleep for about 7.7. So here we are, we're sitting. Even that hour workout, if you were to do one several times a week or even every day, doesn't counteract the effects of sitting that long. So we need to find opportunities to move during the course of the day.
Joan, what are some of the negative effects from sitting so much? I'm glad you mentioned that, because we have a society of children that sit in front of televisions. They sit in front of computers, video games. Adults do the same. So what is it that we're doing to our bodies by sitting all the time?
Right, our bodies are meant to move. That's the animal nature of our body. We are meant to move. And if you're not exercising that I want to call it an inherent right to movement, then you are allowing your physiological systems to decline. You're not exercising your heart and your lungs. You are more likely to gain weight. That's our childhood obesity epidemic. Now obesity is beginning in childhood, and we're growing up to be old fat adults. So we have to really be careful, because without movement, you gain weight, you gain it in the wrong places, your muscles become flaccid and untoned, you have no strength or tone in your body. It's harder if you do need to get up and meet an unexpected demand, which happens these days more often than we know, that suddenly there's a power outage or a weather event or whatever, and suddenly you have to walk more than you expected. And you're not prepared for that if you haven't been exercising. So it's both a physical thing, physical decline that happens with sitting, where you're not exercising your physiological systems, and it's a mental thing. You're not prepared for life.
Joan, you started this second chapter of your life as a personal trainer when you were in your 40s. You started running marathons at that time. And for someone listening right now who may have a dream or a new path that he or she wants to follow, what would you say to that person to follow that dream and to start a new chapter?
It's so wonderful when you do find that passion in life that becomes a livelihood, a calling, a career. It happened to me late in life, even though I was athletic from the minute I could walk through college sports. But after I moved to New York City, I became sedentary. And it wasn't until years later that I started taking yoga and then discovered strength training and hit the ground running. I said, this is what it is. This is what it's always been for me. This is what is in my body. These are my latent and hidden and given talents, my gifts that I was born with. And I need to share this. I need to help people move. And I hit the ground running and never looked back. So yes, I did the marathons. I just started my own business many years ago and have been in it ever since. And it's so easy to just soak up the information and share it with people when you love it.
Joan's new book is Strength Training Exercises for Women. Joan, if our listeners would like to get more information about you and your work, where can they go?
They can go to my website, Joan Pagano, P-A-G as in George, A-N-O, joanpaganofitness.com. There's lots of free information, free videos, free articles, free ebook. You'll learn a lot just by looking at my website. And the book is available right now. You can get it on Amazon and at major retailers as well.
Joan, thank you so much for spending time with us today. This information, as we said, we're more obese, our children are more obese, we're living longer, but we're living sicker. And I think that the information you provided can hopefully get someone started on a healthier lifestyle path. And I'm just so happy that you were here to share this with us today. Thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. It's absolutely my pleasure.
We'll be right back. It's time for Medical Minutes. Joining me today is Dr. Michael Gross, the Medical Director of the Active Center for Health and Wellness, the founder of Active Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, and the Orthopedic Director of Sports Medicine at Hackensack University Medical Center in Hackensack, New Jersey. Dr. Gross is the author of the new book, Get Well Soon. Welcome, Dr. Gross. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Joan.
Doctor, in your new book, Get Well Soon, you discuss the importance of dietary supplements. What are considered to be dietary supplements?
Dietary supplements are anything non-medicinal that people ingest, that they take by mouth, that they don't get by eating a balanced diet or they don't get from their regular diet. In theory, if you eat a balanced diet, you don't need to take supplements. But in most of our diets, there are deficiencies, and this is made up by taking supplements. Supplements can be vitamins. Supplements can be things like omega-3 fish oil. So anything that we need to maintain our health that we may not be getting in our regular diet.
What are some of the benefits of taking dietary supplements?
Well, again, the supplements can maintain health, can maintain wellness. Omega-3 fish oil is an anti-inflammatory. Inflammation in your system can cause heart disease, can cause problems with vision, may even be one of the causes of Alzheimer's disease. So taking anything that can reduce bodily inflammation will help to maintain your health. Vitamin D is a popular vitamin that may reduce the risk of cancer. It maintains bone health and bone strength. It maintains muscle strength. And many people may not get enough vitamin D in their regular diet. So taking a supplement may be useful. Most people, if they eat a balanced diet, are getting enough vitamins, but they may not be getting enough to function at their optimum level. Some of the minimum dietary levels that are recommended are the levels of a particular vitamin that are needed to prevent certain specific diseases, but they may not be the level of that vitamin needed for you to perform optimally. So sometimes, even if you are eating a balanced diet, it may be helpful to take vitamin supplements.
Doctor, are they regulated? How do we know if supplements are safe?
Well, the FDA, Food and Drug Administration, does not regulate the safety of supplements. They are not considered medicines. So it is the responsibility of the manufacturer to provide a safe product. The USP monitors the safety of supplements and will grant a USP seal to those products that meet a very high standard, sort of like the Good Housekeeping seal of vitamins, and it's the USP seal.
Dr. Gross, in your opinion, what supplements should people be taking on a regular basis?
I think for the average person, a good multivitamin is important, but it has to be a quality multivitamin. A lot of the commercially available vitamin products are prepared in such a way that your body doesn't even absorb them. And so you'll take the multiple vitamin every day, and your body will excrete it, and at the end of the day, you may exhibit the same blood levels as someone who hasn't even taken a vitamin. So it's important to take a quality vitamin, and those are usually things that may not be the most popular commercial brands. I think high levels of vitamin D without going to a toxic level are very important. I think omega-3 fish oil is an important supplement to take.
Dr. Gross, thank you so much for spending time with us today. If our listeners would like to get more information, you can visit his websites, theactivecenter.com or activeorthopedics.com. And if you'd like to learn more about achieving true wellness in your life, get a copy of Dr. Gross's book, Get Well Soon, which is available on Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Thank you again, Doctor.
Thank you always, Joan.
We'll be right back.
It's time to eat well with your children. In the early years, there's no question our children are sponges for information, and they will learn to do as you do. Furthermore, if they see daily rituals of healthy eating, they will see sensibility, nurturing, and a body functioning at a high level. I have 4 tips on healthy eating with your kids. First, buy produce with your children. In fact, go to your local farmer's market. They will be exposed to the beauty of fresh, whole foods that are in season, and think less of the sugary, processed, preserved products on the grocery shelves. Second, if you don't want them eating junk, don't buy it. If they are browsing the refrigerator, have it stocked with healthy, colorful options, then snack together. Third, avoid kids' menus. I'm yet to see in any restaurant one with predominantly healthy options. Fourth, does it seem impossible to make even the simplest change in your family's eating habits? Start by making one change. Set up a system of celebration and reward your child for finishing a fresh, healthy meal. And finally, ask your chiropractic doctor for coaching through this challenging process. Weekly chiropractic checkups for your family offer multiple exposures to healthy ideas, whether it be movement, fitness, or eating. I'm Dr. Michael Magwood from Pure Balance Center in Clifton, New Jersey. Reach out to us at purebalancecenter.com or call 973-773-8244.
Are you worried about memory loss as you get older? I'm Dr. Lynn Corrigan, an anti-aging and regenerative medicine physician with the Active Center for Health and Wellness in Hackensack, New Jersey. Alzheimer's disease is the #1 worry of aging people, more so than cancer and heart disease. Conventional treatment focuses narrowly on a gene or neurotransmitter, and there are some medications available to treat it. But the brain is a flesh and blood organ, and shouldn't lifestyle interventions help prevent Alzheimer's disease, just like heart disease? The answer is yes. First of all, exercise. Aerobic exercise has been shown to improve several aspects of mental function by 20 to 30%. Mental exercise, such as crossword puzzles, helps to maintain mental ability. Nutrition is important too. Reduce dietary fat to 15 to 20%. Also, maintain a healthy weight. A high-fat, high-calorie diet leads to inflammation and a decline in mental function. Supplements, such as the B vitamins, vitamin E, and phosphatidylserine, have been shown to help memory. Stress reduction, such as meditation, is important. High levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, have been shown to cause inflammation and brain cell death. Meditation has been shown to reduce the inflammation, and meditation increases DHEA, a hormone which helps memory. DHEA, estrogen, and pregnenolone need to be at optimal levels to help memory. What is good for the heart is good for the brain. For more information, visit us on the web at theactivecenter.com.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you found the show informative. At Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life, we believe that knowledge is power. Take what you've learned, apply it, and live your best life now. Remember that this information is for educational purposes only and should never replace the advice of a professional who knows your personal situation. If you'd like more information, you can visit our website, cyacyl.com. That stands for Change Your Attitude, Change Your Life. While on the site, listen to past shows on demand, read the digital magazine, take part in the book club, and be sure to follow the show on Facebook and Twitter. Until next time, this is Joan Herman. Thanks for tuning in.